What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to be testing the Imprint stones. And I do believe I do need to clarify some things, and I do believe I was incorrect in my previous video when I said that the dot effects don't stack. However, you might find that a lot of the information I put in the last video would still be applicable to you. Even though that these dot effects are stacking, you're going to still do more damage with the stones that I talked about from Guild Raid. So, for example, you know, here we have Guinness, right? And I have these 3 stones on him. Now, I went ahead and leveled up another Imprint stone here. And by the way, these gold Imprint stones, you can't unpair these things. So, if you equip a gold Imprint stone on any character, you can't unpair them. Look at this one, unpair. Look at this one, unpair. Look at this one, unpair. And so on and so on. You know, you can unpair them. You know, this one here needs to be equipped to somebody, but this one, unpair. But if they're gold Imprint stones, you're freaking screwed. You can't unpair them. So once you equip this stone to a character, or any of these gold Imprint stones to a character, they are stuck with that character, and there is no way to unpair them to put them on another character. So you better be very careful about what stones to put on your characters, which is why that this video is very important. Now, the last video that I put up, I was saying that the dot effects do stack, I was saying that the dot effects don't stack. Well, I think I was wrong. Actually, a lot of the feedback that I got from a lot of great players was that they don't stack. I've heard this over and over from trusted individuals, but from the testing that I'm doing, I'm actually seeing more bleed, not more damage, okay? You'll see more damage with this stone having attack and attack. Even though it doesn't have the dot effect, you'll see more damage with this because it's just bumping up more attack. You're getting 22% extra attack from this stone versus, you know, 12% attack. That's 10% extra attack. And yeah, you get the extra bleed if you have 2 bleed stones, but you're losing that attack, right? You're losing 10% attack, and you only get the bleed for 10 seconds upon using an awakened skill, just during the awakened skill duration. After that, for the next 50 seconds, you can't use it. So in the Immortal Dungeons, these stones are still better. They're still better. Even if the dot effects are stacking, they're still better because most of the time, you're going to want that extra attack anyways. That extra bleed is not going to make up the difference for having that extra attack for the extra amount of time that you're going to be just running through your skills. And I can tell you from Guild Raid, I've tested this from Guild Raid, from Spider Robot, these stones are just better. Even though you're not going to be able to stack your elemental damage, they're still better because you're getting the extra attack. And I've tested this over and over and over, but today we're just going to show a test between the stones and see as to whether or not these dot effects are stacking. So what I've done is I've leveled up a shock damage stone, right? And it's the same as this stone, right? Well, it's the same as this one right here, which has bleed. So we're going to equip this one here. We have 2 bleed stones, and we're going to see how much bleed we do with this setup right here. And we're going to do this in Spider Robot. This is the easiest place to see how much bleed we're actually doing. So we're going to come over here. So I do apologize for being incorrect, because I believe I was incorrect, but the advice I gave you all about using the double attack stones from Guild Raid is still sound. It's still the best way to go in my opinion. So we got the 2 bleed stones on them. Let's see how much bleed we do here. You know, I should have tested this before, but after I tested this, I thought, oh my God, I think I might have been wrong, but yet at the same time, I did have good advice. So here we go. And we got to use our awakened skill to apply that extra bleed. So we're just going to wait. We're going to come over here. Okay, now we're going to wait for the bleed to finish here off the robot. And then we'll hit our awakened skill. Okay. Now let's look at the bleed here. 59, I saw 59,000 once. I saw 59,000 once. So let's do it again and see what we get. And I think we'll do that. We'll do 2 runs each time. It takes a long time to click in and out of these screens. So we'll try it again. So we hit about 59,000 just now. And I really wish I could do this in championship preview mode, but I can't, unfortunately. Imprint stones just aren't allowed there. All right, so we're gonna come over here. We'll wait for our awakened skill to get off cooldown. Now we're gonna wait for the bleed to finish off the robot. All right, now let's look how much bleed we did. Yeah, I'm seeing 59,000 there. Okay. So 59,000 with the bleed. Now we're just looking at the red text, guys. Just the red numbers to look at that bleed. That's all we're looking at. I'm not looking at the white numbers as far as our extra attack. Because believe me, that's going to be better with the extra attack they're going to get from the Guild Raid Stone. So now we're going to go ahead and slap on that Shock Stone. Take away the bleed. So we're going to unequip this one here. And we're going to slap this one on. It's exactly the same stats. Maxed out stone. And it's a real shame I can never use this stone on someone else. But, you know, it is what it is. We got to do the test. So you all can see this result. All right. So we hit 59,000 twice with our bleed using 2 bleed stones. Okay, so we're going to come over here. Over here. Again, it really is great for this kind of test. He's so fast. I'm going to let the bleed finish. All right, here we go. Now, let's look at the bleed. 50,000, guys. 50,000. We'll do it again. So, we're doing less bleed damage, actually, right now. So, that tells me that I think the bleed is stacking. I think it is stacking. So we'll do it again. All right, let's go in here. Wait a little bit, go to the other side. We're going to juke and jive old robot here. We want to wait for that bleed to finish before we hit the awakened skill again. Now let's look at the bleed. It looks like about 50,000. So it looks like the bleed is stacking. Now let's equip that extra attack stone from Guild Raid and see what we do then. So we'll unequip this one here. We're going to slap on this one with the double attack. Now we don't have the bleed, but we're getting that extra 10% attack. And we are going to gain bleed, you know. So 59,000 with the double bleed stone. 50,000 with 1 bleed stone. Now let's see what happens having the extra attack here. Because that will change the amount of bleed we're going to deal. Okay, we're going to run over here. Dodge away. We'll go over here. Okay, we're going to wait. Whoop. Now let's look at it. So 53,000. I'm seeing 53,000. Right? So, and the reason the bleed's going up is because we have extra attack. It's bumping up our bleed damage. But still, 59,000 was the best with the 2 bleed stones. So we'll do this one more time and see what we get. Okay, let's do it again. We'll wait a little bit. We'll swing to the other side. All right. Okay, come over here. There we go. Wait for the bleed to finish. Go. And well, how much bleed we got? 53,000 again. So 53,000. So the bleed does look like it's stacking. However, having the extra damage from the attack stone is still going to be better. The stone from the guild raid is still going to be better. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to try to prove that. So I'm going to take this, put that other bleed stone back on him. There we go. So now we got the double bleed. And we're going to see how much damage we can do to this robot. With Guinness. Just Guinness. I'm not going to bring in the striker. I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to use my active skills. Okay. And boom. Alright. Alright, let's go. And okay, so we hit, now I'm just gonna wait. So we hit 99, so at 9.9 million. 9.9 million, guys, okay? 9.9 million. Now let's see what he does when we put that attack stone on him. Because that damage that the robot's taking is from the bleed and our actual damage. Okay, so slap on that imprint stone again. It's kind of tedious going back and forth like this. There we go. Now let's see how much damage we do. We did 9.9 million with the double bleed stone. Let's see what we do with this stone. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's really what you want to know. What is the best stone to slap on your characters? If it's better to just put a couple of these guild raid stones on your character, even though they don't have the stacking dot effects, then that's the way you should go. So we're going to do the exact same thing that we did a second ago. I'm not going to bring in a striker or nothing. I'm not going to use any of my basics. Just active skills. Okay. Let's go. And look at the damage, guys. Look at the damage. So 10.6 million. 10.6 million. So you're going to do more damage. Even though you're not getting the extra dot, you're still doing more damage because you have the extra attack. And I guarantee if I do this again and again, it's going to be the same result. So the advice that I gave y'all wasn't accurate. Well, the advice I gave was good in the last video, but I wasn't accurate about the dot effects. It does look like the dot effects are stacking. However, if you just have these attack stones from Guild Raid, these attack stones, like two of these attack stones here, right? This is attack, then have one for bleed, then you'd be good to go. Let me look at something here. Okay, so let's do something here. So there's bleed, and there's bleed. So now we got 3 stones with bleed, right? 3 stones with bleed. Let's see what happens here. First thing we'll do is we'll just do a run where we see how much bleed damage we do. Because if it's more than 59,000, then you know these things are definitely stacking. Because we got 59,000 from 2 bleeding stones, 50,000 from 1 bleeding stone. What are we going to get from 3 bleeding stones? Here we go. Come on. All right, we're going to run over here. I know I say that a lot. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Okay, so I let that bleed finish. Now, how much bleed are we going to do here? Yeah, 64,000, guys. Yeah, that bleed is stacking. That bleed's stacking. So dot effects do stack. Now, we're going to do this again, and we're going to see how well I do, how much damage we do, right? We're going to run through an entire awakened skill, and we're going to see how much spam my skills and see how much damage we do, and then I'll equip both those attack stones back on them and try it again. I know it's a lot of testing, but we need to know what we need to do with these stones. Because obviously I was wrong about the dot effects not stacking. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to run through my skills. Not going to use any basics again. We're over here. Okay, let's go. And so, I mean, guys, look at that. 9.7 million. 9.7 million. Still isn't beating that 10.6 million. And that's with 3 bleeding stones because we're losing the extra attack. So we'll equip those attack stones back on and do one more run. All right. Oh, the back and forth, the back and forth. We're going to equip this one. We're going to equip this one. And we'll slap that on him. And there we go. So now we have the attack and the extra attack. Let's see what we do now. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Doop. Ooh. All right, let's do it. And I mean, look at that damage, guys. Look at it. 10,005. 10,005. So you're just going to do more damage. You're going to do more damage with them attack stones. Especially in game modes like Guild Raid, where you're not going to be using your awakened skill. You're just going to be using your, like whenever I do Guild Raid, I never even use my awakened skill, hardly at all. So it doesn't really even help the dot effects anyways, because you only get the dot effect whenever you use your awakened skill. But obviously in dungeons, it's going to make a difference. But even against the spider robot, not really, because you're switching your character so fast. You rarely use their awakened skills. Sometimes you do. But you're still going to be better off with having extra attack. As you all can see, you just do more damage with those attack stones. So all the advice that I gave you guys in that last video about how you're better off just to use these stones, even though they have burn on. Like say I got Xion, right? I'd want to have 1 shock damage stone and then have 2 stones like these, only yellow attribute for attack fighters. And that would be the way to go. I mean, unless you want to put HP on a character and try to increase their survivability if you need to. But I was definitely wrong about the dot effects not stacking. They are stacking, obviously. We're doing more bleed, having 3 bleed stones, and then 2 bleed-in stones. I mean, 1 bleed stone did 50,000 damage. 2 bleed stones did 59. 3 did over 63,000. So it definitely makes a difference, but you're still going to do better putting those attack stones from Guild Raid on your characters. Just be really careful about what imprint stones you put on your characters, because you can't unpair them. You can unequip them. I mean, you can take it off of them, as you all saw me do with Ginnets, but you can't unpair them. So you want to make sure when you put all them resources in a stone that it's for the specific character that you want to level up, and make sure it's for a character that you're going to use on a regular basis. So I do apologize for the misinformation about the dot effects. It does appear that I was wrong. However, I was still right about you should use those attack stones from Guild Raid instead of the stones from Immortal Dungeon and Spider Robot, because they don't have that extra attack. They just have the HP. So let me know how y'all feeling about the Imprint stones. Let me know what characters you've gotten and what cards you've gotten. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.